Have you ever wanted more pleasure in your life? Well, you've come to the right space. My name is Rachel, and I've been intimacy coaching for 11 years, and that's inspired me to do a different series every single month, talking about ways to incorporate pleasure into your everyday life for yourself, but also a partner relationship if you're in one of those. Now, sneaky, it has not been direct conversations around intimacy as much this year. It's just around really cultivating the best experiences in your relationships, okay? I said intimacy. That's what I meant. It hasn't been about pleasure directly. It's been about intimacy, okay? And so for the month of December, I decided to focus on things that I believe a lot of humans, I shouldn't say most, but a lot of humans are doing that really hinder them from having the best relationships they could ever have. And the conversation today I want to talk about is presence, because it's it. One of the things that I preach about in my empowerment class is remembering that this moment right here is the only thing that's happening. Now, our brain has this really cool job where it will catalog every memory we've ever had. That's out of efficiency, right? If I touch a hot stove, I don't ever want to touch a hot stove again. My brain's going to remember that. If I learn that water is very nourishing, I'm going to remember every time I'm thirsty to drink some water, right? That's a good example and a bad example. And a neutral example would be I yawn when I'm tired. That's a neutral example. I've learned that about myself, that when I'm yawning, that means I'm bored or I'm tired, right? Neutral. I wanted to give you one of each example. So the reason I say this is because we need the past, because it makes our lives efficient. It keeps us safe. But it's mostly about those two things. The problem is that when we are preparing, right, out of efficiency, we jump into a future to plan for it. The future isn't here yet. The past is no longer here, but the future doesn't exist yet. So we're pulling from our catalog of the past to predict a future, which is all mostly about survival. As humans, we've progressed to a place that we don't have things that really knock us out like they used to, like when we didn't dinosaurs and fire, but it's really about illness and saber-toothed tigers in the bushes and things like that, right? But we have modern day things that keep us scared. We have modern day things that we are fearful will kill us, even if they only are, like it's fake fear. It's fake fear. So presence is important because I can still rely on my brain to give me all of those tips and tricks from the past, but I can also choose to pull that catalog and wait a moment. Because what most of us do, especially in moments of fear, we fight, flight, or flee, right? So in a moment of, I'm going to ask this person out, but what if they reject me? That's a moment of fear. So my past brain might say, you've asked a lot of people out and they've rejected you. Don't do that. Don't you dare try that again. But if I have that fear pop up from my past, I can choose in this present moment, I remember sometimes I get a little insecure about approaching people because I've had a pretty bad experience in the past. But in this present moment, I can recognize that I'm not going to choose to avoid a future that isn't here yet with the potentiality that it might not go my way. I'm going to choose in this present moment and say, all I know is that I need to take a breath or two so I'm more relaxed when I approach this person. I recognize that sometimes I stumble over my words when I don't know what's about to happen. So if I take another deep breath to really choose the words that are coming out of my mouth, I am choosing who to be now. I can override my brain and all those painful memories and all those times that they think they're trying to keep me safe. And I can prove to self that I can choose a better future. That's what we need to do. Be here in this moment. Don't live in the past and don't jump to your future yet, because this is the only moment that exists. Thanks for listening.